that as a suitable location to set up operations because it were already there waiting for him. And understandably, it's highly likely we're dealing people in an authoritative position who can make that call and say, yeah, we'll pretend to decommission that base, but what we'll do is we'll connect it to that tunnel that goes all the way to Swansea. We can ship kids in. We've got everything's ready made for them. So it's not so much that they've picked that particular town; it's just the location. We're already there.
Prove to me that you're alive.
And we are recording. What up, everybody? Welcome to Prove to Me that You're Alive, the most shadow banned channel in the world and podcast in the world. So if you gentlemen will allow me, I just want to take a couple of minutes to do the introduction, but also kind of catch everyone up to what's going on and why we are gathered here today. So just like I said, you know, we're constantly being attacked, we're constantly being shadow banned. The channel just got demonetized a couple days ago because they said that it's reused content. I'm kind of looking at them and thinking, like, how the hell is it reused content if everything is original? Even the music is original in this channel, but go figure, man. Sometimes, you know, people think like, why are we still on YouTube? We are on Rumble. I also want to remind everyone that we are on Spotify, on iTunes, in audio form. So these conversations also go onto Spotify and iTunes and Deezer and all these other platforms. And to answer that question, why are we still on YouTube? Because YouTube is still very big and we keep fighting, which leads me to the introduction. First, I want to introduce to everyone my brother. He's the co-host as always. He's the reason why we are all connected, why we've been blessed enough to meet, and someone that is very dear to me. So David Woroniuk, I want to give him a round of applause and thank him for connecting all of us. And next is my brother Alan, also became very dear to me. And it kind of follows to what I was previously saying, is these people are the people that are not scared, and they keep fighting, you know, they keep trying to spread the truth. And especially the reason why we gather for this video is because of children, because of our children, because of children all around the world that are being mistreated, children that are being trafficked. It's scary to say. And I don't know if you guys are up to the news with like Candace Owens doing the whole thing about Brigitte Macron, with her being with her being a guy. But the scary thing is that it turns out that it's possible that Brigitte Macron is actually the father of Emmanuel Macron. So why am I even mentioning this? Because it all ties back to what we are doing today, is because, again, children are being abused, children are being sold and trafficked, and we are here to raise that awareness. We are here to keep fighting for these children. We're here to keep fighting to make sure that our children and the next generation have a world even a little bit better than the world that we have. And today we want to welcome a new person that's here. His name is Alex. He's going to speak for himself. So again, we're talking about the scary and terrible case of the trafficked children in Wales, in a small town in Wales. Alan, he's the one that was brave enough to bring this story to life. He dedicated many, many years into this story. David was brave enough and kind enough to go and check it out for himself and is not afraid to speak about it. Now, I'm about to finish with the introduction, but I just want everyone to grasp that Alan sacrificed his whole livelihood for this story. So I want everyone to understand, like, the kind of men that we are sitting with here today, right? Someone that has sacrificed. He could have walked away. He could have acted like He didn't hear nothing. He could have just moved to another house and said, but he sacrificed his whole livelihood, right? He had to be on the move ever since. You know, so I want to applaud you. I want to take off my hat to you gentlemen. I want to thank you gentlemen on behalf of the whole world for that you even exist. So David, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing really good, mate. I'm doing really well.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Oh, I wanted to say before we say hi to Alan is it's so crazy, right? The first time that I started editing, the first time me and Alan met and I started editing that video, all of a sudden my computer was crashing, this and that. All of us, and then it's like we keep putting off like our meeting, and then last week I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Yo, the electricity goes out, bro.
Fuck you, man.
It's mind blowing, man. So, Alan, how are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank God, man. Thank God, we keep fighting, man. It's been tough lately, but we're here. We keep fighting. How is your amazing wife doing? The wife that actually puts up with all of this. How is she doing, man?
Hang on, she's refusing to speak, but let's just see if she will. Chris, come and tell her.
Hi, I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, I want to really commend your wife, because it's one thing when you're alone and you're single and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go on this crusade of fighting this, but whenever you have family and a wife, and whenever she's willing to put up with all of this and go with you on this quest, that says a lot about we call it a keeper. So she's definitely a keeper, man. So shout out to your amazing wife, man. I think it's a big deal. Do you gentlemen remember where we left off last time?
No, but Dave will.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. You put me on spot there. What did we finish up
Sorry.
on last time? We finished up on Simon mainly last time, didn't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the reason I'm asking if you guys remember, because I want to pick up with that, and I want to start with that because from what I understand, there have been some recent developments with Simon. So either David or Alan, can you catch us up with what's going on? Like, what is the latest development with this Simon figure, man?
Okay, I've got it on my screen, so I'll do it, Dave, if that's all right.
Yeah, perfect.
We read a South Wales Guardian article. It's not got a date on it, unfortunately. It says this. An Ammanford man has been charged with dealing cannabis. Simon Griffiths, 52, of Gwynfern in Ammanford, was accused of possession of cannabis with intent to supply it in Ammanford on June the 8th, 2022. The case came before Llanelli Magistrates Court on December the 19th, and it was sent to Swansea County Court. Griffiths is next due to appear in court on January the 20th to enter his pleas. To me, I found that interesting because the leasehold owner of the nail bar that was in front of my house where the recordings was taken is also been convicted for 15 illicit drug factories, if I remember. It's quite a big case called Operation Violet Panama.
Okay, so David, I want to know your thoughts on this, but because Alex is here on a short time, can maybe Alan or Alex tell us how Alex is connected to this story?
Yeah, Alex, go on, mate. I'll let you take that one.
Hi. Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
We hear you very well. Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just having a few technical issues on my side. So I pretty much came across some of Alan's findings online. I think it was TikTok at the time, and it's just one of those things when you go through the algorithm and it just comes up, and it was just haunting because when you hear it, it's just like nothing you've ever heard before. So I think that's when I contacted Alan just to know a bit more about it and how I can help, really, and that's pretty much how it started.
Okay, so what I don't want to know like your exact location, but listening from your accent, you're also from around those parts. Have you, like David, have you traveled to that little town, to Wales?
Myself, was it? Do you mean sorry?
Yeah, I'm asking Alex. Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've been there. I think maybe it's been about 3 or 4 times now, specifically for this reason. Because it is a bit out of the way for me. It is a couple of hours drive away, but it was definitely good to just go down and just get a feel and understanding and just see what I can kind of find for myself. Because once you kind of do hear it, you kind of want to know more and you want to know if it's real. And then once you do realize there is something to it, because all these things just don't add up. But then when you're in the actual place, it kind of, it's interesting when it all comes together.
So can you tell us like what year it was that you traveled over there, Alex?
I think the first time I went down there was probably about 3 years ago now. Yeah, 3 years.
Okay. So what did you find yourself when you traveled over there? What, like, did you get to hear anything yourself? Did you get to experience anything? And again, I just want to say, if you had, because David also had a paranormal experience. So if you had any sort of experiences like that, or feelings, or if you heard or felt something, can you please share that?
Yeah, I mean, like David was able to go inside and have a look, whereas I wasn't that fortunate to be able to get close enough. The first thing I tried to do is to go next to Sophia Nail, so the little lane that goes next to it. I did have a brief look in there, but I thought I couldn't really explain myself if someone was to have caught me. So I went around to the park, which is at the back, and there you can see the back of the building, and that's pretty much my only experience. So I didn't really hear anything, but when I went to the back of the building and I was able to see, it just looks really eerie. There's something wrong there.
What did you feel? I'm still asking Alex. What did you feel of the, like, what was your feeling of the town, and what was your feeling of that nail salon?
So the town itself, it just seems like a normal Welsh village on face value, and that's a strange thing about it, because even though like face value everything seems great, there's a lot of cases around in that area and around the surrounding villages where loads of out of the blue kind of things are happening crime wise. So it does seem like that could very much be that as well, because on the face value it seems nice, but there's something airy about it, and it feels like there is a bigger thing going on down there.
So basically, like, if we were to all get together and drive through that town and we didn't know about this story, we wouldn't think anything of it, right?
You wouldn't think twice.
Okay. What are your thoughts and what are your feelings of the nail salon? Like, so basically what I'm trying to say is, because I'm trying to, we were all trying to figure out like how connected is the nail salon. Like, we know that the owners, of the property and stuff, like, they're connected, but what do you think is, like, if did you see the nail salon active, and do you think that the people inside are aware of what's going on?
When I went there, to be fair, I didn't get close enough to their nail salon to be able to get a proper look from the inside of it. But once you kind of know what's going on there, it's easier to piece everything together. So like my experience was to see the back of the building, and there was something that just seemed eerie about it, because it adds up to everything that Alan's been saying, where there's like a downstairs area to that building and you can see where it's been bricked up. So recent work has been going on there, so you can see that there is something below it.
So this is very interesting. You're saying there's recent work that's being bricked up. Alan or David, can you tell me, like, because I didn't hear that part. Like, we didn't cover that part. So there's actual work being done on it. Obviously, this was what, 3 years ago. So does anyone know if anything is being done there now?
So
when
if
I
you
went to
remember
the
this,
first, sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So if you remember now, we were talking about that these sounds first started off of the back of building work happening at the vacant property that were directly next door to Alan's house. So it's a little bit hard. It's a weird setup. So if you're on the main road, you've got Sophia Nails to your left, and Alan's house would be behind Sophia Nails, and then to the right of Sophia, your right, were just a vacant property where a load of building work happened, where cracks were appearing on Alan's place, and the estate agent, letting agent, real estate agent, next door to the other side of it. And then when Alex has been down there, he's noticed obviously fresh building works at building.
Okay, so you don't think that the work that was being done is something that had to do with a cover up?
Well, I think it's two things, me personally, and Alan, correct me if I'm wrong. You had the building work initially, but off at back of a couple of phone calls that Alan had, and also some evidence that he sort of presented. They seem to quickly do some building work, so potentially that's what Alex has managed to document, that secondary building work as part of a cover up.
Yeah, that's quite true. If you see the photo, I've got the photo for you if you want to have a look at it. What Alex has taken a picture of is basically an area of bricks that could have been an entrance that have been bricked back in. But the entrance is exactly where we said it was when we mentioned the sonar.
Okay. Before I ask my next question, I want to ask Alex. When was the last time any of you have been around there or in that town or even close to the building?
Myself, I've been there, I think, total of about 3-4 times over the past 3 years. And each time has been spaced out over about 6 to 9 months. So it was probably about 9 months when I
Oh,
took that photo.
so is Alex the most recent one that has traveled over there?
I would
Yeah,
think so. Yeah, I would
yeah.
think so.
Okay. So I'll ask you this later, but we asked, and I always ask. I asked David, and then I asked Melissa. Shout out to Melissa; she was on here before. Alex, I want to know from you, from everything that you have gathered. You studied this case. You talked to Alan. You talked to David. You traveled over there. You are probably the one that's been there most recent. What do you think is this story? Is this child trafficking? Is this child trafficking and drug trafficking? Is this child trafficking, drug trafficking plus with a paranormal twist? And like what is your take on this whole story so far?
So what from the noises we can hear, we know that it's crime related. And we know we all live in the real world. We know that crime, the more horrible it pays. So like the larger kind of thing you've got going on, source of supply and demand. So there must be something down there. It could be multiple things. It could be children. It could be weapons. Could be drugs. Could be all of the above. We don't know. But those are the things that usually pay. So if we can hear these noises, we can correlate it to that. So it must be something or everything, unfortunately.
And from what you know so far, this is much bigger than just kids screaming in the underground. What I mean is because we know that Alan and Melissa, like, they have been trying to fight for the authorities to pay attention to this. So Alex, you yourself, do you think that this is a much bigger cover up?
I would say so, 100%. I mean, because you guys already covered is that it is an old mining village, so there's a lot of infrastructure underneath the ground. So there's a lot of space for them to do all these kind of things. So I think most definitely, yeah.
Okay, before I move on to the guys, Alex, you are the one that have been there most recent. Let's say 9 months ago. What did you see when you went 9 months ago? Do you think that it's still active?
I would say it's definitely still active, yeah. I don't know what they've been playing at with the whole Sophia Nils burning down and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's because they're trying to hide something. I mean, they must follow everything that Alan puts out, so they're reacting to whatever they hear. So even the bricks that I saw on the window where they boarded that up, so that must have been in response to something that Alan come across as well. So it's interesting to see that, because for them to follow what Alan is doing, it shows they've got something to hide.
Alex,
So
do you think any building work could have been done on Alan's old house? Because understandably, he sold it to two Dutch fellas that seem to have done nothing with it, just sat on it. Do you notice that it looked like any sort of renovations had been done on it? Or did you think it looked exactly the same as when you very first went there a couple of years previously?
I think it looked the same as it was before, but I have a theory for that as well. I think if when Alan was there, Alan was a liability because he was able to hear all these things. So maybe they would have bought it and just
Oh
left it
yeah,
as it was.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah,
to kind of
definitely.
get away from it and hide their tracks a bit more.
Yeah.
So what were these bricks on the window like for someone like me that hasn't been over there? Why did you mention that? Why did you think it's important to mention the bricks on the window?
The reason was because from the last time and the time before when I went, that was a big change because it wasn't like that the time before. So it's in response to something that's happened. That's why they've done that. So that's a
Yeah.
recent kind of thing that's happened. So that's why that seems suspicious to me.
Were
Alan's
you?
got them pictures. If you can screen share with Alan, he can show us them pictures now.
Yeah, yo, me and David, man, we're like vibing on a whole other frequency. That's the question I was just about to ask. Like, does anyone have any, or Alex, did you take any pictures while you were over there?
Yeah, I did. I took pictures. You can see the bricks. And what's interesting as well is in the upstairs window, you can see some writing on the window in some colored like pen or something. But it's not English. It's some different language. So that kind of correlates to everything that we've been going through already.
Yeah.
Can anyone pull those pictures up? Like, is it possible to get any of those pictures? Maybe if not today, maybe next time.
Alan, you there?
Yeah, I've got them. I've got my laptop queued up, but it was making a noise, so
You just
I
have
can
to
enter.
silence. You just
I
have
enter
to
the studio
silence.
now.
You just have to silence the volume on the laptop. Like, just put it on mute.
Oh, that's it.
Just try to mute the yeah, that device. All you have to do is mute it, man.
Okay.
Just turn the phone off for a second.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's wearing headphones. It's like,
Can imagine.
yo, but before we go on, man, I want to say to Alex that I wanna thank you for your bravery, man.
Yeah, man.
Seriously, this is
That's my
something that
pleasure.
like you guys are obviously connected to that story very deeply, but I'm now connected, but I'm also connected in the way that like my whole life, I care about these sort of things, man, because it's I've been advocating for many many years that we have to start claiming power back as far as us as a society, us as communities, like, so I want to really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, that you were brave. Like, you didn't walk past, you are brave enough to where the story touched your heart and you actually took action. Even with you being here, it's taking action. With you traveling over there, it's taking action. So it means a lot, man.
I mean, it's my pleasure, man. I'm sure all of us would have done the same thing. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Alan, are you able to connect or no? I think we lost Alan.
I think he's
I, wa-
still muted himself. I didn't think that's what it is. Yeah.
I wanna ask David before Alan comes back. Because Alan, if you hear us, don't mute the phone. Mute the laptop that you have the pictures on. I wanna ask David, man. So obviously, like me and you, right? We're not against, let's say, someone selling cannabis per se, right? As far as like
Yeah.
we're talking about Simon. But first of all, if you can catch me up on how are the laws as far as cannabis in the UK, because I'm not aware. And
So, yeah, go on.
second, why is it important that this dude is getting caught right now?
Well, As far as laws go, so we have different classifications of drugs. Obviously, crack and your heroin's Class A. Cannabis is currently set at Class B, but you can get a medical prescription card where you can legally get it prescribed and buy it legally. But obviously, it's total zero tolerance towards producing it. I think Alan's thought it's been connected just because it's one of them many coincidences. You've got this gentleman, as we've probably already mentioned, who's gone out of his way to try and muddy the waters, and coincidentally he's up for the same offence. But the woman who was the leaseholder for Sophia Nails was heavily involved in herself, because she got arrested for something like 40 plus cannabis factories that were dotted about. So it's just one of them other coincidences that you've got clearly a criminal, which I agree, I don't really see growing cannabis as breaking the law, but ultimately it is. Which again, this guy's gone out of his way to completely lie about Alan, muddy the waters, sabotage the investigations, just doing everything he can.
We're gonna talk about that in more detail. So Alan has the pictures pulled up. Thank you, Alan. You hear us, Alan? Like, if you want, go ahead and present. Like, it's on the screen. I don't know if Alan, if you can hear us, brother. I'm backstage with the laptop. Yeah, Alan, we can hear you, brother. Maybe you could just present us the pictures, and then once you're able to come back with the volume, you can come back. Hold on, oh no, yeah, he's on. Does he hear us or no? Because we do see your pictures being pulled up on the screen, brother. Oh, let me wait. My computer's in the. Yeah, you can go ahead and present. Yo, that picture with the guy, that's so creepy, man. Let me just tell him if he cannot hear us. It's, it's like before Alan comes back, what's really crazy to me is that this story's been going on for so long, man.
Try joining over the way. So you can talk.
What am I doing?
You know what? You can present Alan. If you can hear us, you can present the pictures, and then while I'm editing,
can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, they can hear me. Hold on.
Okay, I think I've got it organised now. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's cool. What can you see on the screen?
Raw pictures.
Can you see that one?
We see a bunch of pictures.
Okay, I've got individual ones up.
You can pull them up one by one if you will. And like tell us what they're about.
Okay, I've queued up some pictures. As far as I knew, I was actually sharing my Windows folder so I could click on individual pictures. These are just a collection that I've got here to show everybody. Well, try to anyway.
Yeah, you can go ahead. We can see them.
Yeah, you can see them, but I can't control them.
Oh, you can't click on them?
No, let's try again. Now, can you see the one of the bricks now?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what you see.
Well, we see a bunch of pictures, including the one with the bricks. So if you can try to make it bigger.
Yeah, well, that's what I've done. In front of me, it shows us a big one, a big picture. Why is it doing that then? Okay, give me a minute. I'll just see if I can find something else.
Let's see. Wait, why are we still getting feedback? You guys have feedback?
Yeah, I'm getting feedback.
I thought so. I think it's because
Wait,
let's try
that.
Hold
on.
Let's
see.
Why we
getting
kickback? I think it's from
one of the devices.
Yo, Dave, what kind of
cigarettes are you smoking on?
Oh no, this is just
That's bad.
Okay, hold
on.
Oh, now here we go.
Okay, that's the picture that Alex took. You can see the bricks, and it's in the wall of the house next door. Now, I've actually got a better one than that, and hopefully it's going to play.
It's so funny.
It's so funny now. Alan is the only one without feedback.
You know what's
crazy? It's like,
so this is
the back of the house.
Yeah, the back of the house.
So you think that where that
arrow is pointing, that's where the entrance would be?
Yeah, that's where I think the entrance was, based on the sonar as well. That's where we said it was. And shortly afterwards, the gardens and everything all got cleared. We got videos of that as well. And then that bit, well, it just looks like a loose pile of bricks have been just shoved there, really.
The bricks
themselves, they don't look different from the
other bricks.
They look like they are shoved in there, but they don't look like they're different from the other ones. Am I crazy?
Prove to me that you are alive.
No, I'm not saying that they're different from the other ones in any way, shape, or form. But if you look at the position of where they are, they hold the path up that's above. They should be in properly. They're not. They've just been shoved in. They're on the side and everything.
Holy shit! Hold on a second. Why are we still getting feedback? It's like
I don't see. We should be
getting feedback.
Have you got your sound on your laptop, Alan?
No, I've turned the sound down. It's muted.
On the laptop,
or on the phone? Obviously, it's not on the phone.
Yeah, it's because
of the laptop. But it's so funny because Alan's the only one with no feedback.
Dave, can you say something
so I know if you have feedback?
Yeah, I'm still getting feedback.
Yeah, you
got feedback.
Shall I try turning my phone off?
Hold on.
But where are you connected to? On the phone or on the laptop?
Well, I'm talking to you on the phone, but the laptop's on. I've got it on the screen as well. So I think I'm probably causing the feedback.
Yeah.
So try to turn off
the phone. You can connect on the laptop, right?
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to actually turn off the phone. You can just turn off the StreamYard on the phone. Technology, man.
Okay, is that better for you?
Nah, we still got. Hold on a second. I don't know which one you're talking about. Hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Now, so it was your phone, man.
Okay, I've turned my phone off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, what were we going to do? We're going to share an image file with me.
Yo, Alan is like a virtuoso with the technology. You got like 3 phones over there, like 5 laptops.
I'm trying to get it so nothing goes wrong, but I'm not doing a good job.
What's going on, Alan? Are you working for the MI6, man?
MI 2.5, perhaps. Right, where's this picture?
This is so strange because I don't know if I put you back. Hold on. Okay, now there's no feedback. Okay. I put your phone also back on, so all right, now we got some pictures. Whoa, what the F?
That's the back two windows of the house. They're photos that Alex took. They're upstairs.
Alex, can you tell us what that is, man?
My guess is as good as yours. I tried to read it and try to decrypt it as much as I could, but it just didn't make sense.
David, any thoughts?
I ain't got a clue, mate. And that were inside, so that's not spray painted on the window from the outside. That were spray painted from the inside.
It looks like it's done from the inside. I don't think it was done from the outside, but
yeah,
it's the
because
right way
it
around.
looks like it's mirroring, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So when was this taken? This was taken 9 months ago?
It would be about that time, yeah.
Huh. Soof. So hold on. So I'm a little confused right now. So that's not in the nail salon. That's in the house that Alan lived in.
Yeah, that's taken in the back. It's from the rear. So what you've got is you've got the nail salon. I had a flat above it, and there was a house behind it. And in the garden of the house behind it is where the photo was taken.
So it's not in the property that you lived in?
Yes, it's at the back of the property I lived in.
Okay.
So which room? Sorry, which room is that in that house, Alan?
Okay.
In your house?
Yeah. You know, as you go up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then you go to the right.
Oh yeah.
You know the room that looked over the park?
Yeah, I know what you mean now, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you're looking at.
So I wanted to ask Alex. So Alex, you traveled there multiple times. So before this last time that you were there, those writings were not there, right?
No, and the bricks weren't there either.
Wait, so if the bricks weren't there, what was there instead of the bricks?
It's been a while, honestly. I can't remember, but I'm not sure if I sent pictures then to Alan as well. Not sure if he's got anything.
But how likely it is that it's vandalism, like a bunch of kids climbed in and painted something?
It's just what have they painted though? We can't really tell.
Yeah, but is it likely that it's just like simple vandalism, man?
How secure do you think it was, Alex, when you were there? Because it was pretty secure, obviously, when Alan had it. Were it the same sort of, because you had that UPVC door in the passageway, didn't you? And then there was like a little wooden door, if I remember rightly, Alan, towards back end at cellar. Did all that look secure when you were there? Did it look like someone could have forced entry?
I only looked at the back. I didn't really go down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see, yeah.
Okay. Alan, can you tell us about this picture?
Yeah, sure. That's the nail bar, and you can see in that one the flat above it. Now, what happened? It was let's think, September. I think it was it September, August? 31st of August, 2024, and for some reason the whole roof was burnt off. It damaged the house next door as well. If you look on the website, you can see I've made lots of notes about it. That's actually the second serious fire that's been at that property. When I first bought it back in 2008, I think it was, I bought it as a fire damaged property, and the fire was said to be started exactly the same way. To my mind, that fire doesn't make any sense. And like David says, it does seem to be a reaction to what I was publishing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Maybe one of you can answer this. So does this look like someone is consistently trying to get rid of evidence?
Yeah.
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 So this was the most recent fire. After these fires happen, is the property getting rebuilt?
No, as far as I know, Sylvia Nails, the staff have moved to new premises. That's interesting as well. When they moved to new premises, the guy in the flat above left a review for them saying the fumes that come up were carcinogenic. He started having seizures and he moved out the place. And that's the review that he wrote.
That's crazy. Hold on. Where was that picture with the guy, man? You had some picture with the guy.
Is this the one you're looking for?
It's not here anymore. There was some guy, man. What's I'm gonna call it? I wanted to ask. Maybe you can pull that picture up again with the ID, whatever. Like it was an ID. We don't have it here anymore. So I wanted to ask Alex. Alex, have you, since you've been involved with this story, have you tried to reach out to like higher authorities about this?
Myself, unfortunately, that's not my specialty. But the only thing I've been able to contribute is just to go down there and just check it out myself and take some photos.
Nah, that's a big deal already. What do you think about this whole thing that it's been going on for so many years and the authorities are not reacting?
It's just straightforward. I think from my side that it's just been covered up from the top.
Okay. So like ever since like we've been covering this and ever since like we've been talking about this, what I'm getting from this is that whoever is involved, like the people on top, it looks to me like this is not a local thing, that it's a much bigger, possibly even maybe spread throughout Europe or even the world kind of trafficking ring. Like, do you guys think I'm too crazy for thinking that?
No, I agree. Definitely.
I think that if we could actually crack the Ammanfords one, look into it, looking where the tunnels go, and we could actually get an investigation, I think it would lead on to other places. Yes, certainly.
So, Alex, what do you think about this whole the tunnel story? That that town is known as to be a mining town. There are, Alan showed us that there are whole tunnel systems. How plausible do you think that whatever they are trafficking, they're trafficking through these tunnels?
100%, because like we already covered, on the street it just seems like a normal CP village, but the only way to really get that kind of traffic moving around would be through the tunnels. There's no other way.
I want to ask David, man, because I don't want to insult anyone, and I'm a street guy. Alan is, David is, he's like me, man. He's a street guy, man. And I mean that in best possible ways, like, street smart. I want to ask this question before we move on to other pictures and have Alan explain. Dave, my brother, why do you think they would pick this town?
I think it's not the fact that they picked the town, it's because the infrastructure are already there for them to utilise. The fact that you've got that decommissioned military base, which were less than 100 metres away from Alan's house, along with tunnels. So they've looked at that as a suitable location to set up operations because it were already there waiting for them. And understandably, it's highly likely we're dealing people in an authoritative position who can make that call and say, yeah, we'll pretend to decommission that base, but what we'll do is we'll connect it to that tunnel that goes all the way to Swansea. We can ship kids in. We've got everything's ready made for them. So it's not so much that they've picked that particular town; it's just the location. We're already there.
You know what blows my mind as a Ukrainian American? What blows my mind is the things that we know about Wales, right? Like the things, let's say, that I know about Wales. To me, Wales is like this farmland. A bunch of sheep and goats are walking around, and farmers, and like I would never in a million years would think that this small place, this tiny place in the United Kingdom would have something like this going on. Do you think that that's also part of the plan? It's because it's something that we would never in a million years think that it's possible that it would be involved in something like this.
Can I just say something for a minute?
Please, Alan.
Okay, I promised that we'd keep his time to about 30 minutes or so. I know he's got work to do. Just a big thank you to him, really.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, Alex.
Alex, man, we command you. Like, thank you, brother, for being a stand-up guy, for caring. You're welcome back at any time, man. You're a friend of the channel, and we thank you. Do you want to say anything before you leave?
I mean, you guys are doing an incredible job, and hopefully, all your efforts do pay off, and all this comes to light very soon.
Thank you. God bless you, brother.
Yeah, take care, Alex.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Take care. Bye.
So Alan, man,
Yeah, I just like to add now. So I spent a lot of time driving around Wales as part of my job. And from living abroad, I met quite a lot of Welsh people. And where Ammanfor is, it's sort of what's called as the valleys. So that's south part of Wales. They're all sort of ex-mining towns. There are a lot of them. But you find that the people there are quite criminally minded. But I don't know why, but they are. They're very that way inclined. That little part of Wales, that little South Wales, totally changes as you go north. But definitely in that area, there's a lot of criminal type of people that are criminally minded, sort of in that area. And Wales is notorious so again, because it is out of the way, especially compared to England. It's a lot more rural, and I think they have. It's easier for them to keep a lid on stuff there, especially because the police community is a bit more like law to their own. Because, like I mentioned before, it's a bit more of an island mentality because everyone knows each other. And it's been notorious for over years is that the care system, the children's home in Wales, were used as for that purpose as well. And something else that I coincidentally noticed when I was there. I was out talking with a guy who turned out to be a Freemason. You wouldn't believe the amount of Freemasons that we met there. Like every other house, there were Freemasons.
Alan, do you agree with what David is saying?
I don't know about the Freemason bits, but there are.
As far as criminal-minded people, because I'm not sure. Are you Welsh yourself?
No, I'm not Welsh.
So as far as what he's saying, that he noticed that criminally minded people, like, do you agree with that?
I dare say that most people are good and honest people that are in that village, but I have met quite a few that I would say, yeah, Dave's on the money, to be honest.
Okay. Alan, the picture that we have up, what is that picture?
That's a picture that Simon posted on his own channel. And for some reason, he signed the bottom of the letter Jimmy Savile. Now, Jimmy Savile's a well-known English paedophile. I think Dave went into that last time. But on the bottom, he's written this. Please note, I think it says, if you are under 10, please contact me. Then a telephone number. Ask for Jimmy. Discount 10% code, hashtag, now then I'll fix it.
So what do you like? See, this is the most mind-blowing thing, man. Are we dealing with? I mean, we're obviously dealing with a psychopath, but is he dropping clues? Like, is that what he's doing?
It seems like it. Why would you want to be associated with most known paedophile in country?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, like, honestly, this is like a Agatha Christie, like, a detective story where this criminal is implicating himself, where like he's trying, like he's almost like trying to get caught at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's more. Yeah, I think he's blatant. He's just trying to show off. I think he's arrogant. I don't know.
That's actually a very good point, because before I asked you guys, I'm sitting here and thinking on one side it's like he's trying to get caught, but on the other side he's basically shoving it in all of our faces like I can do whatever I want.
That's how it comes across to me.
So, all right, I'm gonna pull up this picture right here. Alan, can you once again take us through the part of like how you came across this guy and how he's connected, so we can catch up, and then we can, yeah.
I think Dave put it very well last time. I don't know the guy. We don't know the guy. If it wasn't for him posting comments on the videos that we put up, trying to muddy the waters, we would never come across him. But the more he made comments that were obviously just wrong, lies, made up, call it what you will, was the more that we looked at him to see, who is he, what's he about. And over the course of this investigation, those are 4 of the masks that he's worn. Somewhere we've got a video of him actually speaking behind that mask. I could chalk that up for you if you want to see it. He just seems odd, but he also seems to be, every time I put something up, he'll contradict it, but with an outright lie. And when I contradict the lie, he just makes something else up. He's just like a compulsive liar.
And you were at one point on the phone with this guy.
Yeah, I've been on the phone to him. I phoned him up and I invited him, does he want to give his view? And he told me, no, not really. He just swore at me, that's what happened. I could play I've got the clips if you want to hear them.
Yeah, I just, before you show us that, I want to ask you, what's the latest development as far as him getting arrested for cannabis? Did he get arrested, or like, as far as this whole cannabis story, like how did it end? Do you know what's the development on it?
Yeah, what I'm told is this, and it is what I've told him, been what I've read. I read in the paper that he'd been charged with dealing cannabis. So in the UK, dealing cannabis is stronger crime, so he's been sent to a Crown Court. I know he went to that Crown Court to plead. I don't know if he pleaded guilty or not guilty, but I'm told there's going to be a trial. So if there's going to be a trial, I presume he's pleaded not guilty, and that's all I know. I don't know the date of the trial.
So David, man, help me make sense, right? They've been covering up the story for a very long time. This dude is obviously connected, right? They would be covering their tracks very well. Why is all of a sudden he's appearing in a newspaper, to even with cannabis? Like, so this is what I'm trying to ask. I want to know your opinion, David. Was he ever actually, do you think, a part of the trafficking? If he was, why are they all of a sudden, flushing him out now? Or second, was he just someone that was connected to it, but not directly? And someone that knew about, like, what, like, I'm trying to make sense of this guy, man.
Yeah, so to the extent he's gone to, I think he's got to be connected to it in some way, shape or form. Now, definitely not on an organisational type of level. I think if anything, he were just brought in as a sort of dog's body, of someone to do a job in there, and probably paid really well for it. Maybe potentially he wasn't quite realising what he got himself into till he got himself into it. And then once Alan started doing what he's doing, it's obviously scared him to an extent where he's thought to himself, well, I'm connected to this. I've got to try and shut this down. I don't think they're throwing him under bus, because I think if they were going to throw him under bus, he'd literally get thrown under a bus. They'd be dealt with, because remember the power that we're dealing with. I think it's a bit coincidental that he's been arrested for cannabis. I don't think it's anything connected to it, but it does go towards painting the picture towards this gentleman who just popped up and tried to destroy the investigation.
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is because if they're really covering this whole thing up, and they are for so many years, right? Like, wouldn't they make sure that they are also protecting him? Because if he's arrested, even for cannabis, what we call in New York, he could start singing, meaning he can start telling, he can start snitching if he's pressed. So why are they risking this now?
I don't think there's any real risk for them. Understandably, if he ever does step out of line, and let's say he went to police, he'd be very, very quickly dealt with. I don't think he's perceived as being a threat, because remember, if we're writing what we're thinking, the authorities, the people are very high up in authority are complicit in this as well. So there's a little bit of arrogance from their point of view that even if he does start talking, it's not going to go anywhere anyway, because they could just section him, especially with new laws that they've got over here. It's really easy to get sectioned, so they could just section him, banging him full of antipsychotic drugs, and it's another way of dealing with him. But I just don't think I don't think they're threatened in any way, really, at this stage by what we're doing, because in their arrogance, they feel they can just always keep a lid on it.
Alan, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Dave. There is a clip that I've got, but it won't let me share it because I can only do 10 images at a time. And I've uploaded some stuff that if you want to talk about it. But there is an image where he says that if something's not done soon.
Oh, shit. Hold on a second. What the heck just happened, man?
Alan just went.
It's okay. Shit, man. Alan, I don't know. I don't even know if he can hear us, man. Holy crap. He had all those pictures pulled up. So before he comes back, man, like, Dave, like, that's the whole big thing. Like, I will be interested to see how this story develops, you know what I mean? Because I see what you're saying. Like, they could deal with him if they want, easily. Alan, sorry, man. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here.
We can hear you, man. So do you have that clip that you were talking about?
Yeah, 2 minutes. I'll just find it. I had it chalked up. I was trying to.
So, Dave, man, it's crazy what you just said. So you're saying that there are psychedelic drugs that they could possibly, like.
So obviously they can with antipsychotic drugs that they give. They literally they destroy someone. They can chemically lobotomize people, and that's what they're basically doing with antipsychotic drugs. If you get sectioned off as being paranoid schizophrenic, and you get sectioned, you've got no control. They'll forcibly administer them drugs to you, and you'll stay in their care indefinitely. It's not like where you've got a jail sentence where you've got a release date. You're there till they decide they want you to go, because they can just keep on going for extensions to have you sectioned. They've dealt with a couple of people that way over time. And then, understandably, once they're in there, they can be administered. They can chemically lobotomize him. He's never saying no, or no one's ever taken any notice. Or he could just suddenly die. It's when you've got the local coroner's office in your pocket, it's easy to take people out, isn't it? Because anything can be put down on death certificate. There's been loads of bent ones that have come out in England that have been proven that they're signing off death certificates for causes of death that wasn't the cause of death. There's a couple of them knocking about.
That makes so much. That's so crazy, bro. Alan, what is that on the screen, man? I won't put up with another year of hell. If something isn't done soon, I'll go public. Hedaloo Duffet Powers, whatever that is.
Yeah, that was just on a post that somebody sent to me. That's what Simon put up on his own site.
How recent was this? Do you know?
I don't know offhand, but it's not recent. It's about 2 years ago.
You know what I want to say before we go on is, Alan, man, the work that you have done, brother, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow. So what is this now? South Wales, The Guardian.
No, that's just a news article, so I could just bring you up to speed with what we know about Simon and the cannabis thing.
So yeah, so Alan read it already. I'll read it again. Simon Griffith, 52, of Gwynfrym, Ammanfor, was accused of possession of cannabis with intent to supply in Ammanfor on June 8th, 2022. The case came before the Yadi Yadi court on December 19 and was sent to the Swansea Crown Court for the later. Okay, cool. So ever since this publication, nothing else has been published. I would assume you would know, right?
I was hoping that some people.
Holy shit.
Some people would. Just over it, because I believe this could be resolved properly. This back and forth on YouTube, this bullying back and forth, needs to end. It's regardless of people's pasts, convictions, whatever. It's the likes of us that need to make that change. We've got a responsibility. Change things on social media.
Yo, Alan, what is he saying here, man? Is he talking about you? He's saying this back and forth on YouTube. What is he talking about?
I don't know. I actually don't know. He puts up so many random videos that seem subject to interpretation. What's your view, Dave?
Well, understandably, he put that video out in middle of him going back and forth with you, wasn't it? To being honest, that's a couple of years old now, that video, isn't it? So, and that video got released bang in middle of him first sort of doing what he was doing.
Wait, this video is on YouTube?
Yeah, he put that. He's got a YouTube channel that he banged it up on, but it was sort of the peak of him trying to sort of like discredit Alan's work.
Yeah. Yo, YouTube, man, we are freaking getting shadow banned and you got this shit on there?
Prove to me that you are alive.